What's up, Dragon Slayers? So it's been about 26 hours into my fast, and I'm at 79 blood sugar. So, as I mentioned in my previous video, because my blood sugar is under much better control, 2, 3 years into my fasting lifestyle, I just don't have the motivation that I used to fast. So, I think I might try, instead of doing three 36-hour fasts a week, for now, I might limit myself to just one for sure. I can definitely do that. I maybe fit in another one, but as long as your blood sugar is under control, you're hitting the numbers that you want, you don't have to go so hard all the time. That's just emotionally where I am right now, and that's what I'm choosing to do. You can be more hardcore, you can be less hardcore. It's your journey. Choose your own adventure, go at your own pace, and you're going to succeed. So today's video is all about how to break a 30 to 48-hour fast. So I decided to break this up into its own video because there's so much information on the internet. You hear all the time about fasting and how to fast, but I found very little information on how to break a fast. At least all the tips that were out there didn't really work for me. Um, Every time I went to break a fast that was longer than 24 hours, I had terrible gastro distress, and it really ruined my fasting experience for well over a year. I was scared to try and fast beyond 24 hours because I felt so bad when I broke the fast. I would have horrendous stomach aches. I would have explosive diarrhea. I just felt super drained, super tired, and really unwell. It was a very unpleasant experience. For me, breaking a fast of more than 24 hours was worse than fasting itself. It was way more difficult than fasting because I dreaded going to the restroom after I broke the fast because I knew how awful I would feel for hours and sometimes even a day plus beyond that. And so like all things, I did my research. I followed tips from Jason Fung, Dr. Mindy, and many other people out there. I YouTubed and Google searched religiously on how to break an extended fast, and none of the information worked for me, and it was very, very discouraging. So I think that I just happen to have a particularly sensitive digestive system, and that once my digestive system goes to sleep, it really, really does not want to wake up. Because I have a friend who can fast for 4 days straight and then ended eating chicken wings. Like, no problem. And I'm super jealous. I wish I could do that. Still not advisable to break your fast with such a fatty meal, but she doesn't have any gastro distress. I would get horrendous gastro distress if I did that even after 24 hours. So, what I have found through much trial and error is a method that I put in the description below with the exact details. I'll go over it briefly. But basically, step one, when I break my any fast that's beyond 24 hours, I have 1 cup of bone broth. I take one probiotic, and then I eat one serving of a fermented vegetable of any kind. I personally like fermented pickles, okra, radish, cabbage, kimchi, sauerkraut, any fermented vegetable. It literally doesn't matter. But you're only going to eat like an ounce or two of it at the most. And then I wait 2 hours. And then step two is that I eat a small bit of protein of any kind, half an avocado, sometimes another serving of fermented vegetables, depending upon how I feel, if I want to or not. And then I wait another hour. So that's step two. And then step three, after the whole thing I described, so 3 hours of waiting total with those two pockets of small, small meals, then I can eat normally. And I've done this successfully now for at least a month or two, and that is the only method I have found that does not give me gastro distress. One time I forgot to take the probiotic, and I still didn't get gastro distress, but I'm a little scared, so I don't know if I could recommend it normally. So if you have a super sensitive system like me, That's what I would follow. The foods that I would absolutely never break a fast with, especially an extended fast, are sugar, processed foods, carbohydrates, and alcohol. Because fasting is all about lowering your blood sugar and insulin, and you're going to be highly insulin sensitive, particularly after an extended fast. So you don't want to fill your body up with something that's going to spike your insulin because it's going to be very bad for your health. There's also a list of foods that I would avoid if you're sensitive like I am, which are eggs, nuts, nut butters, seeds, sea butters, raw vegetables, dairy products, and red meat, because red meat is just really hard to digest. I can have red meat on my second phase of breaking my fast in like 1 or 2 ounce, very small portions. It doesn't affect me. If it affects you, I'd avoid it. Do fish or chicken or something instead for your like small portion. That's what I've got for you guys today. And remember that together, you and I will slay the dreaded diabetes dragon.